Taninan, Perush, Bechol, Makom. We've learned that is to say, in each place, Haklal, we learned the general rule, Be'omro Eleh, the posel, when it says Eleh, that it nullifies the previous. The posel who is Harishonim nullifies the first ones. Vegam kan be'omro Eleh Toldos Noach. So too here, when it says these are the offspring of Noach, Kavanasu livsol Toldos Harishonim, its intention is to nullify the first offsprings. Mefarish Lama Poslam, and it explains why he's nullifying them. Viktim lahavia pasuk the nahar yotze meiden chulu, and it prefaces by bringing the verse: the river goes out of Eden, the mighty binyan Toldos haneshamos davka. That it's referring to the offspring of the soul specifically. Ayin b'maimori hazohar b'inyan v'nahar yotzem Eden shenirshmu le'il sif gimel. And look in those statements in the Zohar about the river coming out of Eden that were mentioned before. Ki hare pasuk ze ne'emar achar gemar hayud maimoros kulam. Because this pasuk is mentioned after all the 10 statements. Dainu ki shieniach la'adam v'ishto began Eden. When Adam left, when he left Adam and his wife in the Garden of Eden, k'mo shekasu v'itash melokim gan be'eden mikadem, like when it says that he planted, Hashem Elokim planted in Gan Eden from before, V'yasim sham es ha'adam asher yatzar chulu, and placed there the man that he created, V'nahar yotzeh me'eden, and then it says that's when it says that the river comes out of Eden, Mishum de bednar sheyotzeh me'eden, because of this river that comes out of Eden, Misham nimshach shorash yisavos haneshamos, because this river that comes out of Eden, it's the source for the creation of the souls. So the concept is that's why it mentions the river specifically after the creation of Adam and Chava, because the river has to do with the creation of the souls, like Nishmas Kol Chai and so forth. V'kamushikasu gamkin the kaman bezoar Parshas Vayera daf kuf tes vav amud aleph ulkach hektim bepasuk zeh gam letoldos chitzonios. Therefore, it prefaces to this pasuk also the external offspring, shehin yud maimoros, which are the 10 statements that come beforehand, shegam l'sham nimshach bechitzonius, that also to there comes out in an external way, me'eden l'nahar chulu, from the Eden to the river and so forth, because it's not holdos and hashamos, but it's the creation of other things. And from there it divides from the 10 sayings, from the Eden to the Nar, to the 4 camps, the 4 camps of the Malachim, the camp of Michal, and so forth. Hagar kan mefarish degam behamshacha chitzonius alachius almost shaykh bechinas v'nar yotzeh me'eden chulu. So Tzemach Tzedek notes here that we're explaining that also the external flow to enlivened worlds, you can also say that there's the river that comes out of Eden there, and somebody who scrutinizes in the Perush of the Ramaz and the Mikdash Melech will see the Perush Ahunar the Nagid Chulu, that the explanation of this level of the river that flows and so forth, Chulu, that flows into the garden and so forth, that's a union of Za and Nukva Idei Yisod, through the Sphira of Yisod, Loholid Nishamos, to give birth to souls. If so, we're drawing down here from this Nahar, and it's a drawing down from the inner courtyard, that's revealed on the day of Shabbos, seemingly meaning not Chitzonius. That is to say, that it's a revelation of Keser, of Atik, that's revealed in the mother and the father of wisdom and understanding of Chachma and Bina, and from there it's drawn into the Yisod of Ziranpin, and from there to the garden, which is the Yisod of the feminine aspect. So it's drawn from Yisod of Zah into Yisod of Nukva, and it's mushrush in Atik, that's revealed in Abavim. So that's why it's saying that it's a hamshacha from Chatzar Pnimis. Vayim Bezor Chele Gimel Pinchas Dafish Mem Amud Beis BeMikdash Melech Sham B'Shim Brachav BePerish Basi Legani. Look in Zohar Pinchas and in the Mikdash Melech in the name of Rav Chaim Vital when he explains the pasuk, I came to my garden. V'omnam Kemo Chein Efshar Lefarish Gam Kinyan Hahu Nar Denagid Chulu Gamal B'Chinas Ashpa Chitzonis. So even though the Mikdash Melech and the Ramaz explain this and Mefarish on Hamshach Pnimis from the Chatzar Pnimis, you could also explain this as referring to external flow Hanimshach B'Shishi Yemei HaMaisa that's drawn in the 6 days of action. Hisav Sa'olamos V'Chol HaNivraim, to create the worlds and all the creations. V'Zeh Lefi Masha Kosav HaArizal, and this is according to what the Arizal said. That in the unity of the mother and the father, which is the concept of the river that comes out of Eden, there's two concepts. There's two concepts in Yichud Avah. Aleph Zivug HaChitzonius. The first is the external unity, Lahachios HaOlamos, to enliven the worlds. Rabbe's Yichud HaPnimi. And the second is the internal unity, Litzorach Toldos Neshamos Chadashos, is this internal union for the purpose of creating new souls. That this is the main concept of the river that comes out of Eden for a complete union and so forth. Like it's brought in Eitz Chaim from the holy writings of the Arizal, from the Arizal's own handwriting, as it's quoted there in Eitz Chaim about these two Yehudim. Vayim Mashikasu Mizeb L'Kuti Torah Dibur Hamaschil Sosasis Ubishir Hashirim Ababir Al Pasuk Tzenu Ra'ena Drush Harishon Dibur Hamaschil Havinyatam Misham Perek Aleph V'Hamshach Sheb Chitzonis Lahachis Olamos, and this external flow that to enliven worlds Gamkin Inyan V'Nar Yotzei Chulu is also this concept of the river that comes out. Umisham Yipared V'Hayala Arba Rashim, and from there it divides and becomes 4 heads. Shendach Daled Machanos Shchina Machana Mechol Chulu, and becomes the 4 camps of the Malachim, the camp of Mechol and so forth. Shegam Hisavu Zu Harei Nimshach Behamalchus B'ma Shemekabeles Gamkin Misod Ziranpin Chulu, that this creation as well is drawn from Malchus, from that which it receives from Yisod of Zah. So it's also a Yichud Zun, similar to what we brought before about the Nahar Yotzei and the Perish, that it's the Chatzar Pnimis, according to the Mikdash Melech and the Ramaz, that it comes, it's a Yisgalus Atik into Avah, and from Avah into Yisod Zah that goes into Malchus. So there's also a Yichud Zun in the Hashpa Pnimis, but in the Hashpa Chitzonis you also have this Hashpa from Yisod as well. Shagam Hisav Zu Harei Nimshach Malchus Mema Shekabelas Gamkin Misod Zachulu V'Inyan She'er Aksusa. And this is the concept of her the obligation of the to give her food and clothing and so forth. And the inner concept, the Yichud Pnimi, is the Ona, the obligation for marital relations. But the external concept of clothing and sustenance is also a kind of yichud. giving hashpah from Yesod to Malchus. So the concept of her sustenance, food, and so forth also comes from the world to come. Shiur habina, which is bina, asher Hashem, which corresponds with the concept of asher Hashem, I guess. K'moshikasu b'sabad mishpatim daf tzadik zayin ad kan, or maybe it's ad amud beis. V'hi v'adai al yidei ha'yisod, and this is certainly through Yisod rakshu hashpah ben b'chinas hakelim, but rather it's just a flow from the vessels shu nikra chitzonius legabe b'chinas onasa, which is external in comparison to the obligation of onah shu hashpah b'chinas ha'oros v'neshamos, which is a flow from the lights and the souls. Like it says in another place in the Mamer, that he says the end from the beginning.